It's Pete from Cheap Homesteading, and today we're going to work on my chicken coop a little bit more. I'm still working on my challenge I have with homesteading with the Heberts about finishing up some of these projects that have been hanging around for a year or so. So today I am going to do a little bit of wiring in the chicken coop. And I want to make sure that I warn you, I am not an electrician. I'm not even going to suggest that you do it. I'm just kind of showing you how I'm going to lay out where I want the lights and the light switches and the power coming in and everything like that. But I'm not suggesting that you do it. So we're going to go through the chicken coop and get the wiring, mouse-proof wiring, so they're not going to actually chew through the wiring, and all that. So let's get started. But first I want to get rid of these straps. I've had this door, I made it, it's out of 2x6s. They came with loaders on them. They're all strapped down with seatbelt straps. Those things are tough, and the staples are incredibly strong. So every time I've went to try to take them off, it hasn't worked so well. So it's kind of frustrating. And so for 4 years I had straps stuck to the inside of my door. So that's one of those projects that's kind of hung on. It could have very well been done, but I haven't finished it. So we're going to take those off first, then do the wiring. I'm going to use some fencing pliers. These staples are incredibly strong. Fencing pliers are awesome. Wow, even with that, there we go. Okay, so there you go. The door looks much better without all that strapping on it. It only took me, I think, 5 years for this job. I'll show you the inside of the coop, what we're going to do with the wiring. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing here. I have like extension cords hanging here. I have an extension cord there. I have a light hanging here. My timer. This one is for my water heater. Okay, so now we're going to start hanging the boxes for the outlets, for the lights. I'm probably going to put a junction box somewhere on the wall up here. And then all my lights and everything's going to come out of that. So my goal in the future is actually to have underground conduit. I'm not going to do that now. So what I'm going to do is run my conduit down, and then I'll seal it with silicone or whatever. And then if I ever do run underground wiring to the coops and to the barn, then I can just hook into it, go down, and just carry it on through. We won't have to kind of redo it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put a chunk of conduit from here basically to the ground, and then I'm going to silicone it up real good so no water gets in or bugs or whatever. 62 inches long, so right there. I got this underground cable at a garage sale, believe it or not, and it cost me $20, which was an awesome deal. It's just a little bit short though, it doesn't quite reach the house, but man, this is like an awesome extension cord. It's got loom built into it, and it's all waterproof inside. So this is meant just to bury it. So it's going to be good even if I have to lay it on the top of the ground. I'm going to fish this wire up here first. Some of these electrical parts I got at like reuse stores, you know, like Habitat for Humanity and them. You do have to watch at some of those stores because sometimes they do want more than it's worth. But it is charity too, so take that into consideration. Okay, so there you go. So I got my junction box installed. She's nice and tight, so there's no way a mouse is getting in between there and in there. Okay, so this is where we're at. I got a junction box. I've got my switch in. I've got my plug in. I have my boxes mounted. Most of the wiring is sent. That plug up there, it's actually for my heat lamp. But when the moisture's dripping off the roof, I don't want any of the electrical down because it drips down the roof, so I'm trying to keep everything that needs to stay dry up front. So I basically ran out of time and parts because you don't think of everything you need. So I'm gonna go and pick up some more parts, and hopefully this week after work I can try to finish this thing off. I just got home from work and I'll just have a little bit of time before it's dark, and I'm hoping that I can get at least the light fixtures in and some light switches and some covers on before it gets dark, and try to finish up this job. So let's get at it. Okay, now I'm going to hook up the two light fixtures. I chose to get ceramic ones. I find they last longer. They cost a little bit more money, but they last a whole lot longer. And I think they dissipate the heat better too. Okay, for about 5 years, I've basically used extension cords. I've used extension cords that go into the wall, and then goes to a splitter, and then you have another extension cords that plug into that, and most of the time, you know, it lies in sawdust or it lays here, and I'm like, that's not a great idea. So I wanted to make something a little more permanent and mouse proof. And it only took me about 4 or 5 years, but I'm getting to it. Most of the stuff I do around here, I do it. Like if it's wiring, if it's running water lines, fixing the chainsaw, or whatever it is, you have to be kind of a little bit of a master of different trades. Because if you don't, you're going to be paying someone continually. So you really have to be able to do stuff yourself. But saying that, if you don't want to do something that's outside of your skill set, if you can't do it, you really need to pay someone to come do it. You don't want to have an accident. There you go, one's installed. Okay, so I wanted to have my last light that I could turn on and off if for some reason I wanted only one light running. Okay, one cover. Okay, so I'm running out of time tonight. I really wanted to get it finished, but I can't. So I'll see you tomorrow. Right now it is 4:15 in the morning, and I'm going to use the lights on the four-wheeler. I'm going to try to finish up the wiring on the in the chicken coop. So let's go. So this is what it looks like at 4:15 in the morning. So basically I need some tape, a knife, and a plug. I think I've got plugs. This is the one I bought for it. It has a bit bigger hole for where the wire goes through. So there you go, we got the plug wired up, and we're gonna go hook up the coop side. Okay, so we're going to take the plate off. Okay. So there we go. Okay, so I decided to go with LED bulbs, so the lighting isn't going to take much power at all, because I'm still going to have two heating lamps running, one for this coop, one for the other, so that's going to suck enough power on its own. Okay, so I'm going to go around and check the circuits. This is my grandfather's circuit tester. Okay, so let's see if this one works. Well, there you go. All the circuits work. The only thing I did, which I don't want to turn off the lights, they seem so poppy, is I got to switch this switch around, because on is down, it should be up. So I got to switch that around. So there you go, there's another project off the list, and another project from the challenge from Homesteading with the Heberts. So I got to move on to my cold frame boxes now, so you guys have a good one.